You know us. Our reputation, rightly, precedes us. We have no need to hide. We do not conceal ourselves or our purpose. We do not cloak ourselves in shadows. Do not mince our words or our deeds. Let all the world know us for what we are, and let our foes tremble in their miserable hides. We are the children of the light, soldiers to a man sworn to eradicate every creature that cleaves to darkness. It is no secret that our world houses many crooked lanes, many crevices and cracks that succor the shadow's rays. Every day, every hour, there are foul plots being laid, fell rites being performed to invoke the Dark One's favor. Every moment that these stains endure is an insult to the light, and we cannot, in fact, suffer such to live. Our purpose from the very moment of our forging has always been to utterly destroy anything that serves the shadow. Shifty-eyed dark friends, those Aes Sedai witches, all of them, everywhere, see the shining beacon that is this order, and know that their day of reckoning will come. You think you know us, you think you understand, but you are just so ignorant. Do not put your trust in rumor or in the wagging tongue that brings it to your ear. Here, let me give you truths for once. Let us see what transformation, if any, there is invoked in you. I cannot guess how much you have heard or been told of the world's history. First, there was the Age of Legends and the war of power that sundered it. In their pride, those mighty Aes Sedai broke the world, damning billions to horrendous deaths and utterly destroying everything. After the breaking, our species crawled from the muck and the mud and began to establish itself once more. Society and culture emerged. Kingdoms sprang up and wars for resources and prestige were waged. The witches built Tavalon, a foul abode from whence they sought to puppeteer the world's powers. The shadow, never dormant, ever stirring, reared up its snarling heads, fangs bared, to strike at humanity once more. Trollocs emerged from the blighted mass and carved a bloody swath through the nations of the world. Caches of dark friends revealed themselves and betrayed their nations from within. Dreadlords and Black Azure led hordes of the Shadow's forces. Despite all this, the light prevailed, as it always does. In the aftermath of the Trolloc Wars, there arose a false dragon of tremendous power. Gwere Malasan troubled the world in what historians now call the War of the Second Dragon. He would have fractured it all were it not for Ata Pendrag Tanrial of little regarded Shandal, who defeated him and delivered him to the Witch's Tower for gentling. Ata Pendrag, called Hawkwing for his swiftness and aptitude in battle, was then forced, so the records claim, to conquer the world by successive twists of fate. He founded the great empire for which he is renowned. When he died, the empire proved too massive, too divided to hold together after the passing of its progenitor. Chaos rent the world. The War of the 100 Years, an orgy of bloodletting that saw powerful lords and ladies clash against each other in attempts to carve out kingdoms for themselves. Those were truly dark times, a bold display of the savagery that rests within the human heart. It is from this miasma that the children of the light trace their founding. There was a man, a visionary, named Lothar Mantela. He alone saw what others in their lust and greed had blinded themselves to. The shadow was churning. As humanity turned on itself, the Dark One was taking advantage of the situation to maneuver his pawns and set his own plans into motion. Gravely concerned by his observations, Lothar penned his seminal work, The Way of the Light. It is a masterpiece, an inspired sermon on the true values that good men should aspire to. That book and its message of a simple, humble life was like the breaking down, come to scatter the shadow of a long, cold night. It inspired many to reflect on the Creator and their own existence. Some leaders tried to suppress it, to ban copies of the texts, but their detraction only fanned the flame. Word spread farther and farther. Preachers rose up, taking the book in hand to speak against the darkness of the times and the rampant folly on display. You would think all the world would welcome this gentle message, but the dark one is a formidable foe. Those peaceful, humble preachers were rewarded with a kiss of bad steel. They were hunted, silenced by dark friends, their message crushed beneath the heel of those whose hearts were hardened against it. Small and vulnerable as they were, those brave men came to realize a truth. All the world was embroiled in war, pointless war. If they were ever going to foil the darkling schemes running behind the curtain, they were going to have to forge blades of their own. In this they turned to the way of the light, adapting its ideals of a simple, disciplined life to the soldier's way. Order and effectiveness would be carefully cultivated values as the children of the light grew in strength and armed themselves. While kings and queens quibbled about borderlines and rights to rivers, seas, and trade routes, the children of the light sought out dark friends. What a glorious era this was! Unburdened by fidelity to one nation or the other, bound by their zeal, their faith, these brothers in arms unfurled a banner of light, and its brilliance sent all those creatures of the shadow scurrying for cover. And so for hundreds of years, the children have stood firm, opposing the Athan Shadar wherever they may be found, whatever faces they might don. From the simple soldiers to the 100 men and the lieutenants, from the Lord Captains to the Hand of the Light and the Council of the Anointed, to the Lord Captain Commander himself, every one of them true, the children fight for the light, spreading its magnificence and defending it should there be need. There are, of course, those who are skeptical of us. They call us extremists. They call us rabid, too eager in our work. To this, I simply ask, why should we not be extreme in our defense of the light? Why should we not be firm in the strictures we keep to? There can be no consort between light and darkness, no merging that does not see good sullied by evil. There are those who look at our methods and think them too harsh. To this I say, give thanks that our actions have given you this reprieve. You have not seen true darkness. You have not experienced the depth of depravity to which our enemy can sink. Thousands of children have given their lives to protect you, and in thanks for their sacrifice, you have forgotten. You have grown lax. Your ignorance only earns my scorn. There are those who point to our hatred of Aes Sedai and mark it as a point against us. What response to give to these lick-spittles? In this, as in all things, the way of the light is clear. All Aes Sedai witches are dark friends, or as close to being one as makes no difference. The one power is the essence of creation. It belongs to the Creator. For the sons and daughters of man to wield it, this is an abomination, a thing that should not be. They have already broken the world once. Must we wait for a second apocalypse before we stand guard? No. In the dome of truth, heart of the children's power, there are frescoes that depict every triumph that the children have known since our founding. The sight has never been seen by outside eyes, but I will describe it here for your sake. In one of the recesses, a painting depicts a glorious scene. The hanging of Serenia Latar, an Amalin seat of the White Tower. Of course, she was already dead by the time her cadaver was mounted on the scaffold, but the sentiment in the gesture remains as poignant today as it was then. For so long as darkness endures in their corrupted hearts, for so long as these abominations exist, the children of the light will ardently oppose the order Aes Sedai. Indeed, We will oppose all darkness, wherever, whenever it may lurk. In recent years, the strength of the children has, rightly, grown. We came to an advantageous agreement with the nation of Amadisia, which led to the founding of a stable base that we may call home. The Fortress of the Light is an impressive building which serves as the seat of the Lord Commander and the Council of the Anointed, a visible symbol of everything we stand for. Every child of the light feels awe when they step beneath the dome of truth and catch a glimpse of our history inscribed in the tapestries that hang there. The Lighthouse centers an able leader in Pedro Nile, a singular commander in that he is accounted one of the great captains of our time. Old he may have grown, but his mind is as agile as ever, and his performance during the troubles is a legend that will outlive him. Our numbers grow every year. Recruits flock to our banner, and no mere rabble of desperate youths seeking easy work. They are true believers, true followers of Lothair Mantela's creed. This is wonderful to see, somber to witness too, for it is an undeniable sign of what strange times these latter days have proven themselves to be. Now, you've heard the truth in all its scouring glory. I know what you and yours whisper behind our back. Whitecloaks, you call us, you sneer the words. Not very brave of you, not very true. If you have such daring, why not use the slur to our face? Why slink? Why hide? We wear the white cloaks over our armor. We spend an ungodly amount of time polishing and maintaining the cloaks as a visible badge of Lothair Mantela's ideal. As outside, so within. As within, so outside. Order, simplicity, cleanliness, discipline, a pure, pristine, unblemished white. Ideals that all peoples should aspire to. When next you see this white cloak that you so disparage, remember the history of its origin. Know the stout heart enclosed within it, the dedicated mind, the incandescent soul. Know that you are in the presence of a hero, a warrior ready to die in defense of all that is right and good. Know that you are in the presence of a child of the light. Wherever the light holds sway, there we are, thriving. Wherever it does not, we bring it in all its blinding, awe-inspiring magnificence.